Welcome back, YouTube, in the RC world. On the bench today, we have the Walkera V400 DO2. What's happened here is it tipped over on me and chewed up some teeth on this gear here. So we're going to go ahead and replace that. This helicopter's been modified before. I put a brushless motor in it a long time ago. So anyhow, we'll go ahead and replace that gear. I did find one on the bay, so kind of hard to find parts for these. Alright, well, what I'm attempting to do is to snake that gear out of there without having to take all of this bottom cage off here that the landing gear is hooked to. I may have to, but I've got the bolt out of that gear. I'm going to push it down. I might pull up on the blade and try to snake that out of there. So I'll bring you back here in a minute. Alright, well, I'm going to pop these links off the swash plate here. Pop them off. That'll free that up so I can lift that up. One more. Alright, well, that did it. I can lift that gear out of there now. There we are. It's really a fine tooth. I'm not really sure what it is. The bad tooth is right there. Chipped a couple off. It was still running, but it was making a little vibration. So yeah, we'll pull out the new gear and stick that back in the same way we took it out. Alright, well, we'll try to snake this new one in there. You know, I don't know what the deal was here in the package that I got with this here. It came with a bearing and a pin. I don't know what the bearing's for or the pin's for. This here had a bolt that went through the gear. Anyhow, we'll get that stuck on there. Make sure I get the right one back in there, because that is such a fine tooth deal that Walkera did. Lord only knows what I think Walkera liked to sell parts. But this was a good bird in its day. This was one of my first flybarless birds. If not the first one, I don't know. Give me a little tool here to help with that. Help push that gear back up on there. I go with a little bit bigger one. Upholstery tool. Might be easier to take the blades off, but I'm not going to. Get everything lined up here. Get something a little bit smaller, poke through there, make sure it's all lined up. Huh. Alright, well what I did is I put the screw in there with the nut, the nylon nut, and I'm going to glue it into the gear here. I'm going to put a little drop of CA on the nut to hold it in because it won't stay in on its own. So we're just going to put a little tiny drop on there and then hold it in there until we can get it all in place. Alright, well that did it. I was able to get that all together in there. I CA'd that in, got it all, the gear all snaked back in there, and I'm just snug it up on the nylon nut, lock nut. Now I just have to put a couple screws that I took in on the back of this landing gear. I gave myself a little bit of play. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. I took out these screws right here in the back so a guy could get a little play in there. And they've got some little tiny nuts for them too, so I'll get them snaked back in there. I don't know what size they are. I'm using a little tiny 5/16 inch wrench. But it shouldn't be too hard. They're just mighty small little nuts. Now these aren't nylocks. These are just regular. So I think what I'll do, take a little bit of masking tape, put across that little tiny wrench there, and maybe that'll hold that little nut. So I can get them started. There we go. Yeah, camera won't focus, but anyhow. There's one down. That worked. Get the other side. There we go. Not getting her here. She's fighting me. She's fighting. There we go. I got them both on there. Part of my problem is this isn't the right size Allen wrench, but it's pretty close. All right, I'll hook that swash back up. Yeah, it's just these little screws on the front of that landing gear there, the landing gear plate, but I can get them slow going. There we go. That's pretty snug. Now we're ready for a test. All right, well, I don't think it's going to stop raining today. So what I'm going to do is test this here on the bench. I'm going to unplug the tail motor. Maybe. There we go. And we'll throw a battery in there. Now this is on the old Wakira 2801 Pro. I'm going to change a lot of my throttle curves and stuff around once I get this going anyhow. That seems nice and quiet. And it doesn't have the vibration that it did. You could kind of hear it in the gear, you know, when the motor was running, it was kind of missing a cog there. Not doing that no more, so yeah, as soon as it stops raining, we'll get that bad boy outside and give her a try. All right, hopefully we can I can get this in the video this time. My hat was too low last time, so here we go. Now I've lowered the head speed down to 3650. We'll give that a shot here. Hopefully it's not too low. It seems to be okay. I might try that for a while. Still seems to be fairly stable at that head speed. Could possibly even go lower. Wind's kicking up a little bit. I don't think I got my timer set, so I'll just go a little bit longer here and then come in and land, because I don't know, I don't want to run the battery too low. These are old batteries. They're probably 10 years old. Okay, we're going to come in and land. Since I forgot to set the timer, that's the deal about this walk here at transmitter, you have to set the timer. Actually, I did have the timer set. Oh well. I think I like that there. It's raining a little bit.